Isn't it nice to celebrate the holiday season? Because after all, look at this shitty Christmas tree, it doesn't even light up. Also, you can't go wrong with dollar store hot chocolate that tastes like crap. Then we get to watch some really crappy Christmas movies.
Luther, your face.
What about it?
It's like it's frozen. Botox treatment.
Botox. They take a big needle and inject it into your forehead and it freezes your face like this. I read it in a health magazine.
And how long are you going to be like this?
Well, this is temporary. And then, you got all your wrinkles are gone.
And then we get to listen to some all-time Christmas classics. No, stop that. Stop. Someone change the channel, please. And you know, I don't have to review any crappy games today. And besides, my lovely editor is currently shopping for Christmas gifts anyways.
Meanwhile,
I've been sitting here for over an hour now. When will this goddamn store ever open?
hey, calm down. Let me check to see when it opens. It seems like the shop mart won't be open for the next hour.
Fine, I'll deal with it. What do you mean that I have to review a fucking Christmas game? Aren't they all shit?
It doesn't matter if they're shit or not. We have to do a review for the Christmas season. If not, Autopsy Industries are going to come to this apartment and kick our asses, alright? So stop bitching.
I don't fucking care. They can kiss my fucking ass. I ain't doing that shit. I don't care if I get electric shock therapy for 10 hours as a result. I don't want to do shit.
Hey, have you tried this before, dickhead?
Ah! What's this? Days Before Christmas. Ooh, Sunsoft published this game. This might be pretty good.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
What is exactly the Days Before Christmas, huh?
Don't fucking start this shit, okay?
Alright. Days Before Christmas was a game developed by a Norwegian company called Funcom. Amazingly, they still exist to this very day, developing on various MMORPGs. And they're owned by Tencent. Look, I'm not going to get into the many controversies of Tencent, alright? What's interesting is that this game was published by, of all companies, Sunsoft. Of course, Sunsoft is known for making some pretty strange games. Have you ever played Euphoria the Saga for NES? Or better yet, have you played the game that was supposed to be the sequel to Super Pitfall? Even though these are both developed by different people, the apple truly doesn't fall far from the tree, doesn't it?
Nice. Fucking beautiful.
Anyways, Days Before Christmas was released in November of 1994 for both the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, both in PAL regions. Around the same time, a North American version was planned, but was cancelled due to the bankruptcy and restructuring of Sunsoft America. Though there is a scan of what would have been the North American box art for the game. In addition, the Mega Drive version was only released in Australia and manufacturing of the cartridges stopped due to quality concerns. According to one of the developers, the game took around 6 months to complete for each version, which totaled around a year. Which, yes, while it was the norm at the time, it usually took a little bit longer than that, and therefore there are many things that haven't been ironed out as a result. However, the big question still stands. Is this a game worth putting under your Christmas tree, or is it a game that you could just chuck in the bin like coal? Let's find out. After going through the menu and seeing this shit for the first time, you get a weird but very simple story, which actually reads like a little poem. I think I should do a little bit of a dramatic reading for this one. Santa Claus is resting quietly in his house. Only days before Christmas, Santa slipped in his house. An evil plot was brewing, cooked up by awful louse. The cold and evil snowman scared all the elves away. Timekeepers stole plans for Santa's house that day. But for the vicious louse, this wasn't bad enough. I'm really gonna show him! I'm gonna play rough! He tore the presents open, and on them cast a spell. That's when Santa woke up. Something wasn't well. All of his elves has vanished, his presents also gone, and threats were awaiting surely more than one. Beware the magic potion calling Santa's evil twin, the angry Anti-Claus, his fiend from within. So Auntie must be Santa, pick presents all the way to face the foe so bravely and make it through the day. Go beat the evil bosses who are lurking in the dark. Find his sleigh and reindeer set out to make his mark. Find every stolen present that was unjustly craved. For every kid on earth, Christmas must be saved. Okay. The game has 24 levels, which represents the 24 days before Christmas, mostly consisting of 4 regular levels, and the 5th level being a regular level at first, but then transitions into a boss stage. There are 2 means of attack, throwing magic dust, and this ground pound, which looks really fucking goofy. You don't just use your magic dust attack to turn your enemies into presents, which yes, that's what you do in this game, but it's also used to open presents. Extra health, more enemies, checkpoints, elves, and even bombs. Yes, bombs. Also in the Ice Cavern stages, you can collect your reindeer. It's not necessary, but if you want to go for a 100% completion run, there's that. You'll find these red electric boxes to make you shoot fire instead of dust. It only happens for a limited amount of time, but it doubles your firepower. Plus, it lets you melt ice walls. Collecting the tea will make you turn into Anti-Claus, which makes you invisible in exchange for not collecting or opening presents.
I just love sharing a cozy hot cup of Lapsang Souchong tea.
Now it's time to go through the levels. The first level is pretty simple enough. You just collect your presents, defeat any enemies, and get to the end. While this stage isn't terribly weird, there is a few oddities like climbing on candy cane poles and jumping on recliners to gain more height. Near the end, there's a candy cane pole which leads to your first tea, which lets you experience the oddity of Anti-Claus. Collect the star, and that's pretty much it. In the second stage, you're outside, defeating penguins, Jack-in-the-Boxes, and what? Thankfully, this doesn't punish you, but instead leads to the next level, the Ice Caverns, which is actually quite a big level. In fact, most of the levels are usually ranged between pretty big or pretty linear. I've already covered through most of the stuff that you could find here, but there's actually quite a lot to explore if you just go looking. Just be aware that it might take you a little while to get to the end because, again, this is a big level, and sometimes you may not know where you're supposed to go. And the fourth level, the Ice Caverns lead you to this weird place where it has these conveyor belts and these little machine thingies that turn you into presents if you go in them. So you could just press jump to get out of them. Also, on my first attempt, I accidentally fell into a pit and died. Cool. And in the fifth level, you traverse through a very standard level to defeat the awful louse. That weird snowman. Also get a look of his face, he looks really fucking smug. He's also pretty easy. Just hit his head, avoid the little snow boulders, and make sure you get on the clouds so you can get the best of him. The boss music is also extremely intense for a game like this, just have a listen. yeah, for a game like this, the music is actually pretty solid throughout. Once you're done defeating the boss, you get to play this weird little mini game where you throw boxes at chimneys that shoot out smoke. And yes, only the ones that have smoke in them can you put the presents in. Otherwise, it just won't go through. There are 4 of these. One in England, one in Russia, one in Japan, and one in the United States. But didn't the manual say that Santa must find all presents for every kid on Earth? It's a video game, whatever. These stages for the most part are pretty easy. It does take a while to get used to the controls, and getting the presents into the chimneys can be a bit of a problem. But otherwise, these bonus stages are pretty fun. But what I do have to talk about are the weird enemy projectiles. For example, in the Russia stage, spaceships are falling down to Earth. Like, what? In the England stage, a bunch of toy helicopters are coming at you. Which is also weird, but at least it's a little bit more fitting in this game, seeing how you play as Santa Claus. In the Japan stage, you're trying to avoid what seems to be a kite. Who flies their kites at night? Also, this one isn't an enemy, but why did they have a dog that looks like a boost from Rude Dog and the Dweebs tied to a missile? Who the hell came up with that shit?
I can't do it, RD. I bumped my noggin on a train a long time ago, and ever since then I've been scared of them. Big old train, look out! This is a nut house.
And the US stage also has helicopters, but also flying footballs? What sort of nonsense is that? Though at the end of the levels, you do get a little password, and yes, this is the only time you can get passwords in the game. Now it's time to get to the rest of the game before I die of boredom. Flooded basement. This is the stage where you have to deal with spiders and mice in swimwear as you traverse through a basement that is quickly being flooded by water. If Santa gets fully submerged in the water, you die. Though I guess the developers gave you a little bit of leeway, as you could still be half submerged and still survive. Wood Factory. This is the first stage that I would consider to be a bit annoying. Most of the platforms consist of conveyor belts. You jump on these weird hearts that squish but seem to be made of wood, given how this is a wood factory. This stage has what I believe to be the game's biggest problem: the camera. Yeah, sure, Santa is fully dead center on the camera, which can be a little bit annoying, but the big problem is that it's a bit too zoomed in. So therefore, dealing with certain stages can be a bit of a pain. Like for example, I'm right here and I don't know if there's going to be a platform below me or not. So it's going to be a bit of a gamble if I survive. After a bit of trial and error, if you can get past all those leaps of faith that you have to do, it is pretty easy for the most part. Just be prepared. Magic Cave. Who put the damn tanks in the cave? These stone enemies are also pretty annoying because you don't know when they're going to react or not, so it's again a bit of a gamble. Oh, I also found something really cool. Here's the lost member of the Pac-Man family right here. Other than that, it's a fairly easy level. I don't really have much to talk about here. Steel Factory. What the fuck are those? Also, why do they spit out a boxing glove when I get close to them? Also, what the hell is that? Also, what the hell is that sticking out of them? Is that yeah, I probably shouldn't go that far. Also, nice leap of faith for a platform that's not too far ahead from me. The Timekeeper. This boss is a little harder, but not by much. He spits out these weird gears when he's standing, and you can only attack him when he's rolling around in this weird ramp. Once you're done hitting him with magic dust, he just explodes into a bunch of presents, and you can end the level. Winter Waters, and no, there's no polar bears in this stage or in this game at all, it's just there. Really nice looking parallax scrolling on this one. In fact, the graphics in general look pretty good in this game. Kinda looks like a Vector Dean game. Definitely has that James Pond 2 vibe to it. This time it seems like you're back in the North Pole again, dealing with penguins, but also weird live ice cubes? Weird. Steel elevators. Weird how we go from the North Pole to a steel factory, but this game's pretty weird, so I guess it fits. The gimmick in this level is elevators. Yep, press up and down in these elevators and you go up like you're in Metropolis Zone from Sonic 2. And seeing how it's involving elevators, this stage is definitely a lot more maze-like than the last few levels we've been to. Also, sometimes the graphics are so good that you literally don't know that this hook is actually an object and not a part of the background. So be mindful of that. Gift wrapping department. This dude looks like he's on the verge of going into mental insanity. Speaking about that, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about my buddy. What's taking him so long?
Hello, and welcome to the Shopping Mart Black Friday sale. We apologize for the long wait, but hopefully these deals will be worth all the trouble. Thank you for choosing Shopping Mart as the place to buy all the holiday gifts for your Christmas season.
And Caleb, if you are hearing this, you are so fucking grounded for life. Go home and go to your room right now, you stupid bald cunt.
Hey, we finally did it! Now it's time to shop for the horror.
Oh my god. Are you alright?
Come on, let's just get in this damn place. I want this all to be over with. This stage is the same as the wood factory level we saw earlier, except they have the machines that turn you into presents when you go through them. This is not a difficult stage, and there isn't really a whole lot to talk about, really. Magic bubbles. Yeah, the entire stage is mostly just these really annoying enemies being placed around the level, with the rest of the stage mostly taking place in this weird area where you have to jump on magic carpets to get to other areas. The attic. We had a basement level, so let's have an attic level. This is a pretty interesting level where you can jump on these moving barrels, you avoid these invincible ghost mice, and jump over coat racks that have boxing gloves. Plus a nice looking top hat. And of course, make sure you avoid that cactus. And this is one of the few stages that have sections. You flip the switch here in order to get out of the attic. Then you get this little cutscene where Santa climbs out of that attic into the chimney. Then go through this outdoor area to find another chimney, go through the level as normal, flip the switch, and head into the boss arena. The third boss is by far the most complicated of the lot. You have to lure this rat through a conveyor belt, which on the top contains another conveyor belt which has a 10-ton ball. Get it right, he'll get stun locked. Throw your magic dust, and that's how he takes damage. Do it around a few times, and you complete the boss. It takes a while to get your shots perfect, but once you do, it's pretty easy. And now it's time for the true finals. North Pole. And man, did they cook with this artwork. As for the level, not so much. It's pretty much the same as most of the others. Hell, he even falls for the same damn trick again. Deep down in my ass. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the third level, except it's a little bigger. That's all. Creepy basement. Ooh. Yeah, this one's pretty much the same as the flooded basement, except it has more of these annoying disappearing platforms to get to these presents here. Hell, it even floods. Just like the flooded basement, am I right?
Shut the fuck up.
Santa's house. Yup, it's Santa's hallway again, except with baskets. Plus, you can hang onto this really nice looking clock handle to make you look like Simon Belmont from Super Castlevania 4. Also, why is Santa's house filled with these emerald shards or something? I don't know what they are. And of course, this is the final level before we beat the final boss of the game. And this is the only stage where after this is the bonus stage and not the boss. Which kinda makes sense. You definitely want a passport for the final boss. And now, it's time to face off the evil Mr. Weather. Weird name, but okay. And also, this looks really cool. I wonder if he actually looks. What the fuck is that? Okay, so this is the weirdest final boss I've ever played in my life. Here's what you have to do since it looks so fucking weird. Santa, who is riding on this slow-moving cloud, has to fight whatever the fuck that is. Has to fight in the battle of what I can assume to be a pretty janky version of fucking Pong. This pull my finger looking ass dude shoots out lightning. For you to shoot out lightning, you have to hit these 3 clouds that move in a circular fashion in a perfect time so it can hit him. Nice, it looks like he's fucking shitting himself. This is the only stage in the game that I would actually consider to be really bad, as not only is it annoying as hell, but it's just not fun. At least with the other levels, you could have a little bit of enjoyment with them, even if they can be a bit annoying and somewhat repetitious. This is just downright frustrating and just plain boring. Why would the developers ever end a solid game with such a bad level? But hey, like all the other levels, it's short. Now Christmas has been saved, and all the kids around the world has received their presents. So Santa, his reindeer, and the elves may rest until next year. And next Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. And that's what I would say. What the hell happened to you? Don't worry, I'm fine. I just look a bit disheveled. All the presents are in the living room. Can you please, wrap them for me? Bye-bye. Explain to me what happened. Overall, Days Before Christmas is a very solid Christmas game, and what I would consider to be the second best Christmas game ever made, next to good old Die Hard Trilogy for PS1. While this game isn't spectacular or anything, especially when the game has quite a bit of issues, this game is still quite a bit of fun for the Christmas season. The graphics are great, the controls are fairly solid, though they are a bit slippery, and the music is pretty damn good. Overall, a fairly solid game all around that I highly recommend importing. Though, be prepared to flesh out quite a bit of money for this one, as the game is now rather expensive and somewhat rare, especially on the Mega Drive, seeing how that one was exclusively released in Australia. So if you don't want to flush the big bucks, I highly recommend playing this game on an emulator. Even if it's no Super Mario World or Sonic the Hedgehog, this is still a very solid game regardless of what version you're playing. And I highly recommend playing this game if you don't have anything else to play on the Christmas season. Truly a Christmas miracle.
I'm clean. Huh? No, not you, stupid!